Do, Re, Egon. NERDSoul. Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, oh yeah, we got another wonderful episode for you guys of Talk Shop. We're gonna be talking about Ghostbusters because, yo, we got the Humble Bundle, so we might as well. And we're having a lot of fun with Volume 2. That's episodes 5, 6, 7, 8, and let's get into it. This whole story starts out with like a theme park. People are having a good time in upstate New York. Everything seems okay until a clown that's making balloon animals starts burping, like literally burping ghost bats. And next thing you know, there's a wall of ghosts and a kid gets possessed and a mystery man and a bunch of fun. So meanwhile, down in, New York City, you got Peter working his butt off trying to lose 10 pounds because Walter Peck is on him about all these different crazy restrictions and all kinds of health, goals that they have to reach to be like, I guess, a municipal service or whatever they're going to end up being. But Walter Peck's in charge, so they're in trouble. But it's funny to see once again how everyone just reacts to them fighting because honestly, Winston doesn't have a beef with Walter Peck. Egon and Ray, they have their basic beef with him. But Pete and Walter just, I think they're too much alike. I think that's what it is. I think they're more alike than they think they are, and they fight a lot. But Janine, is always in there to ref the match, so it seems pretty cool. And a small yet interesting thing to note is that I guess Egon is kind of doing his thing, and some women come out to him. He has to make a signing for them, because he wrote this book. It's a little saucier than you might think. And he sees someone who he feels that he hasn't seen in a long time that kind of gets his wheels turning on to how in the world did I see that person? But we don't have time to focus on that because we have to get to upstate New York quick, fast, and in a hurry. But while they're doing their, travel on the GB4 plane, we're introduced to Kylie. That's right. Kylie from Extreme Ghostbusters has now been introduced into this comic book. She's working at the store with Razor Cult Books. And, it's just good to see her there. It's good because, especially for all the Extreme Ghostbusters fans, it's just really cool to see her there because she is very similar to kind of like Ray and Egon, to where she's definitely down to do a lot of the researching about all of these spook specters and ghosts. And you also get a light reference to the ghost librarian while she's in the bookstore, and it's very cool. Like, she's quiet in the background, but it's very cool to just see the ghost librarian once again. I thought it was a nice nod, and this comic book is very good at the nice nods. Like, even in the firehouse, they have one of the Ghostbusters arcade games like sitting in the background. It's super cool, and like just small stuff like that is always fun. But the cool thing about this whole situation is that you get investigation, you get a lot of comedy, and you get some cool action because after they get to the theme park, we get to use, once again, our proton bombs. And those things just set off tons of carnage and damage. And you get to see Ray and Pete fight against like ghost pet stuffed monkeys. And you get to see the wild horses come off of the carousel because they're possessed and attack Egon and Winston. And it's just really cool to see the imagination, especially since it's, on the drawing page, all of the different things that you can do because live action, it's just expensive. But to the coolest things about this volume is that you get a mental match between a possessor in this Indian curse ghost and Pete going head to head over whether he's going to be scared of being possessed or not. And then you get this detective story with Egon that plays out very well, especially with a little backstory from Tobin that wrote the Tobin Spirit Guide. And you find out that the young man that Egon saw on the street was actually an old friend from college that he thought died, but he didn't. And there's a weird reason why he didn't, and it's not very easy to explain, but Egon is on the case. Just like, you know, Kylie is on her case, giving tons of information on how to beat this possession ghost. And they end up taking him out after they get him out of the child, and Peter kind of like beats him at his own mental match. But not before we get some more spectacular just ghosts and crazy things like this huge clown. And it's shots like that in this comic book that just really tie everything together and let you know that they're in a larger, more scary world. Like even the old lady that was at the old folks home that found out that her son never came to see her, when she transforms, that's crazy. So all of that added up with this mystery of Egon's old friend, I think this is still continuing to be a fun ride. But before I move any further, let me remind you guys that you can find me on Black Hollywood Live. That's right, they do celebrity interviews, after shows, sports talk, geek, nerd, tech, and all that. You can find much more at blackhollywoodlive.com. And after you check them out, you can get all of their videos from week to week at youtube.com/blackhollywoodlive. So on Facebook, I've got a couple of questions, like, are you going to continue to read this? Are you still enjoying it? As a Ghostbusters fan, I'm still enjoying it. Like, I'm getting ready to read some more now, because the way episode 8 or issue 8 leaves off, I'm very excited to see what Egon's about to do next in this whole detective thing that he's holding down, and the way he works is so smart. So yes, once again, I recommend this joint. If you love Ghostbusters, this is for you. So if you've already read this, let's jump down in the comments. Let's holler about it. And if you haven't read it, let me know if you've at least thought about picking up 1 or 2 issues, because the link to cop it is down below. So holla at me, I'm gonna holla at you, and get your Wednesday popping. And you gotta hit up ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right, you can check out all my videos there, from the oldest to newest, the latest, the greatest, and all that. And then hit up shop.thatnerdsoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt, player. And a big thank you to everyone that hollers at me on patreon.com/ThatNERDSoul. Help me build this to something huge. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that Nerd Soul. There is no other way that I can tell people that you like what you are watching. And please let me give a shout out to LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart. And of course, be good to yourself. And of course, be good to those others. And let me tell you about this story on a spectral locomotive. But first, peace.